That's for sure.
Split ends and shit.
I've heard about split ends, and now that my hair is kind of longer, I kind of understand what it means, but I don't get it. It frays?
So like, are we about to have like a little like?
Oh, there's no intro. We just
Okay.
go. Yeah,
Okay.
we're in it now. We're starting
Okay.
on. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Low Show. This is the first time I've actually done an intro, but we're here hanging out with Rachel the Waitress.
Rachel the Waitress.
I was thinking like always Sunny in Philadelphia. Isn't that Rachel the Waitress? What's the waitress's name in Always Sunny? Come on, everyone in this club is from Philly and you don't know? All right, fine. Well, Rachel asked to be on the pod. We like Rachel. Rachel's the shit. So Rachel's on the pod. Welcome, dude.
Dude, happy to be here.
So no. Teach me about split ends. I'm learning.
Okay, so I dye my hair a lot. I mean, you've seen me with at least a couple.
Probably like
colors.
3 different hair colors in the 4 months this place
And
has been open.
so then I bleach it. So then what happens is the integrity of your hair every time you put chemicals on it, it just weakens the proteins, weaken. And so at the end, they just
I
you
hope
see
that.
how they kind of like go. You see how they're going all different ways.
Is mine doing it?
You're not too bad. No, you're
Not too bad.
That's
Okay.
good. You probably take better care of your hair than I do.
Well, now that I have long hair, I've been going to a salon, and have they shampoo my hair, and like the ladies they tell me what to do, and I just do what they tell me to do. So I put something in it for curls. It's like when it's dry, I rub my hands through it and I put it in there.
Little curl cream.
I don't know what it is. I buy the bottles they tell me to buy and I do what they tell me to do. But some things I won't do. Like they want me to like pat my hair dry with a t-shirt or something like that. Like it just doesn't make sense.
Enhance the curls.
But I've been having fun doing the towel thing and getting the turban. I like walking around my house with a turban on. I feel pretty cool. I've always been jealous of that part of the female world. But what the part I didn't expect was all of the stuff that comes out in the shower. Like the hair, like
You mean like
hair.
the dirt coming off?
No, like hair in the shower.
Yeah.
Like it's like I feel like I just washed the dog.
Did you just not shower before? How was this?
No, when you have short hair, you don't notice hair coming out when you're showering. So now, like when I had long hair, I panicked. I thought I was losing it. I was like, oh, do I have cancer? Like,
Do
I don't know how it
you
works.
you lose like thousands of hair every single day.
Jeez, that's not what I like to hear. I'm counting all of them
Well, it's
every day.
constantly growing though. You're constantly getting new hair. So.
Yeah, but it did make me panic for probably like a month. I thought I was just losing my hair, so I bought special shampoo, special conditioner. That's like don't lose your hair shampoo. It's some has like a really macho name. I think it's called like Spartan or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, something that makes guys feel okay with like using products.
Well, I shed like a dog. I also just have a lot of anxiety, so I'm like constantly just like shedding. But there's no better feeling than like after a shower just pulling that one long hair out of your ass crack.
Yeah. Okay, I haven't had that one yet.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't had the long hair in the ass crack yet. There's still time. It's still getting there.
It feels good, dude. It feels
bet.
good.
I bet, dude.
It feels good to pick that shit out.
I bet that feels pretty good. It's so funny. So you did your... All right, so for people here who don't know, like we said, Rachel works here at the lovely Helium Comedy Club, where we are in the green room, and just had her first stand-up set last week. If we could call it that. We could call it that. It was less stand-up, more oversharing, but it was very funny. Everyone had a blast.
No, everybody was laughing, so there's always that.
But nothing will open up a room quite like, let's talk about chlamydia.
Yeah, I knew you'd go there.
I'd go there. Yeah, no, it was a very, very funny conversation. Oh, it was cool to see the staff hanging out, and a bunch of the staff went up and got on stage for the first time, which is super cool.
Personally, I did tequila shots. That's why I went up on stage. Everybody else, I had Ian come up to me and he's like, yeah, seeing you up there, it gave me the courage to go up there. I'm like, that's awesome, man.
See?
I just went up there because I was drunk.
But hey, who knows? One person's drunk night might be the first night of the rest of someone's life where they make the terrible mistake of becoming a stand-up comedian.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So you're an inspiration to us all.
Me and my chlamydia,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were really funny that night. I'll give you that.
Thank you. Well, I mean, it's just when it's just your friends.
Right. Everybody was just letting loose. It was very much just picking on each other.
Well, that's what I think it was supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to just feel like, because I think sometimes when, especially like people in the micro community, they get around Kristen, they just kind of clam up because they're terrified. They think like this is a job interview. But to have it in that environment where everyone was just really loose and ragging on each other, that was very nice.
And mind you, our booker's in Philly. Like, everybody's so scared to go in front of Kristen.
Yeah. Well,
not
Rachel's
even-
flying around. Well, let's not do too much inside baseball for the people who aren't on this. But I mean, it was very cool to see people like letting loose and you know, doing well in front of management is never bad for your career.
No, never. But it is funny how much influence people think we have. Like, I went to the Laughing Skull and I had somebody afterwards, just being a waitress, send me headshots and like send me their email. It's like, you know what? Hustle, baby, hustle.
1 second.
Oh, is it off?
Turned off. What do you expect?
Not much.
That's super fair. I had like you should have seen. I had like a really nice black magic camera in here, like a big $10,000 rig, but I had to give it back to its owner. But that's funny. So
Just
someone,
in time for Rachel.
so someone gave you headshots.
Yeah, so somebody like DM'd me on Instagram and was like, hey, here's my phone number, here's my email, here's some headshots, and like just sent like a paragraph that was like, so lovely to meet you, like I hope that we can stay in touch. And I was like,
You should have just cast them for something like in your neighborhood.
it's like,
you know what I think you'd be great for? Helping me get my groceries on Tuesday.
thank you. I'm very good in a grocery store.
No, but I'm saying you tell that to them. Like when they send you the headshots.
I thought
and
you were
stuff
just
like
saying that. I was like, I can help you. if
No,
you
no,
need
no,
help,
no.
Nathan.
I don't need help. I'm okay. I get factor meals sent to my house, so I don't have to worry about cooking or anything. But I was saying, like, if someone sends you headshots, just recruit them to be your lackey. Don't let them know. Don't let them know that there's no booking power there. Just let them think.
But it's like, I introduced myself as, oh, I'm a waitress over there. What?
I don't know. I think it's like, especially since Atlanta, I think Helium is really the first like showbiz kind of place that has popped up around here. So no one really knows what to do. Like it's the blind leading the blind down here. So it's like no one really knows how to get booked. No one really knows how to do anything. So you just throw a lot of stuff at the wall, and it could hurt. It could help, but it most likely is going to get you talked about on a podcast.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. Oh, so you said you just started your day today.
Yeah, so I stayed in bed till probably about 1.
Nice.
I live like 20 minutes from here, so you know, I just
Nice. I've been trying to do that, but like I've been recently, my brain has just been waking me up at 8 every morning, and it drives me insane because I don't have anything to do until nighttime. Like, I mean, I probably should be editing and like doing things for my career, but yeah, no, I would prefer to sleep until 11.
well, it's like when you work here, most nights you pretty much always get off after midnight.
Yeah.
There's rarely a night where I'm home by like 11:30. So I love to sleep, and I will sleep like the whole day until I have to come into work. I will set my alarm for like an hour before I have to come into work.
Well, I do that too. Like if I have a show that night, like I'm usually worthless until like 2 p.m. and then I'll start doing stuff. If it's a show day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's not, I like to try to do something just so I don't feel worthless.
Well, and that's good, and I should probably do that.
Yeah.
I'm not though.
Yeah, well, I mean, as your you said, like your brother, older brother, you're like, hey, you got to get out there and do some stuff.
My annoying older brother, who I only see at Thanksgiving and Christmas,
And every weekend.
and coincidentally, every day that I work, practically, you're always here, man.
I am always here. I don't know why more people aren't.
Well, we couldn't get rid of you if we tried,
Not a chance, dude. This is where all the action is.
dude. You're cemented in.
It's fun. It's really fun here. I like the vibe. The staff is super knowledgeable. They're all really into comedy, and they don't like. There's no down talk or anything like that. Like moving from LA, like you'd go to the big clubs like the Comedy Store or the Factory, and people just kind of look through you, you know?
Yeah.
And it's this, and it gives them the credence to say like, yeah, I am a big shot because I ignore others. But like that's not the vibe here at all. And so that's really cool to me. It's like we get to see national headliners come in. I get to see my comic friends when they want to come. They don't realize this. It's like you can just come and see the best people doing the job that we want to do. Why wouldn't you be here every week?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Well, and it's like we'll always have space for you guys. Like,
Yeah.
have we ever been like, no, Nathan, you can't sit in a
If
show.
the show is sold out, yeah. Like, 'cause there's that little pocket that y'all stuff us in up there. The little,
we
the
have
little,
this special.
there's a little upstairs area, and it's like, why wouldn't you just go see it? Why wouldn't you? I've never been turned down. I think I've only been able to not get into one show, and I just came back for the next one.
Right.
Because they do like 3 in a weekend, and the odds are there hasn't been anyone who's sold out all their shows, is it?
No, but we do have somebody coming very soon. Yes.
Who dat?
That is Marcelo Hernandez.
Oh, okay,
Super
okay.
excited for that.
That's going to be very exciting. So comics, don't come to that one because you're not
Don't
going to be able
come.
to get in.
Don't come. I will be there though, and I will be working green room. So
Hey, nice. Best green room waitress in the biz right here.
I really try, because the better you do with comics, the more people talk about you, and they're like, oh yeah, she was a really good waitress, and then the more I get to do it.
Yeah.
And there are so many like people that are like, man, I never get to do green room, and it's like, well, just get out there and do it and be nice and be down to earth. Like, you don't have to. I think a lot of people freak out over somebody big, and they're like starstruck.
Just don't know how to handle it.
And no comic wants to deal with that because it's just awkward.
Yeah. Well, it's like if someone's just like kind of peeking in and going, like, hey, sorry to interrupt. Can I get you? Then if you're a little bit dismissive to them, then someone goes, yeah, he's just an asshole.
Yeah.
Which is insane. Like, it's like, no, this person doesn't know how to talk to people.
Right.
Oh, sorry about that. That's rude.
That was really rude. What was that? Thank you.
These are my text messages. It was actually Kristen.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was her. She was just doing something about the flyer for the little showcase.
Guys, the little showcase every month.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good one.
Okay.
I'm very excited. The lineup is insane. Yeah, I'm very excited about it. I've been having fun making the posters too. I did this last one off of like an old Cool Hand Luke poster from the 60s. Just got to remake it. That made me happy. I used to, when I did them in LA, I would blow them up big. Like, the like director portraits you'd put. Like, you'd see him at like a director's house with all the big movies that he's made.
Yeah.
We blew them up big and we put them all over the little club that me and my buddies ran. It was a lot of fun. I like to do something like that here, but nah, y'all got plenty of wall space. I don't know why people are signing the wall though.
So, I don't know where that started either. People have just started writing things on our wall. But then so many don't. And it's very funny because there's like 5 people over there.
Yeah. Well, when we were opening up, I remember I was talking to like Ray, and then they're like, "We don't really want that to happen."
Yeah.
And like it's tacky. They don't dig it unless it's like a place that's been around for like decades. Like, I know that's how it starts. This is supposed to be how it starts, but I don't know when it's just sparse like this. It's a little strange.
It's so funny. It's so funny. And I think what started it, and I won't say who started it.
I can see who started it.
No, because they're on a different wall.
Oh, okay. All right.
They're on a different wall, and they were like, "We sold this bitch out" or something like that, and it was like
Did they?
one show.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like opening weekend,
Right.
so
okay.
it was like we never got a chance to not.
To not? Well, I mean, there's still plenty of time, and we got plenty of paint. We could clean this up. I don't mind. I think like doing that wall out there seems fine.
Yeah.
Especially like local comics who get to do like feature spots or hosting and stuff like that. But
Oh, and they always sounded real big too.
oh yeah, they're like, I was freaking here.
It's like, and you won't be back.
But when this like you feel a social pressure in the green room, you're like, oh, okay, we're doing this. All right. And then you also feel social pressure to write something funny.
Right. Which, speaking of, do something funny.
What does that mean? Yeah, oh, I hate that. It's the worst. It's the worst thing in the world.
So recently we had somebody come in that I knew from childhood, and I was like, oh yeah, this is my buddy Nathan Lowe. He's a comic. And he goes, say something funny.
And I think I said, no.
You did. You just were like, I won't be. I won't.
And then, but that's the problem. He laughed from that, and I went, well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
Dance,
it.
monkey dance.
I don't like, but that's fine. Like if it's, I know it's silly. It's silly to get upset about it because it means that they're happy to see you, and I should just be okay, fine. But I'm not gonna go into a routine or something like that.
No, you should. You should just start doing your whole.
Just do street jokes.
Yeah.
And just like make them really, really uncomfortable.
It's like you can't leave. I'm not finished with my set yet.
Yeah. I just like they start to get up and I just force them to listen
hold
to
on,
an
I got
entire
3 more.
set. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. I might do that. Next time someone asks me, I'll just go into like an old Bill Cosby bit
Yeah.
and just run down like a whole 15 minutes of his act and force them to watch and sit for the whole thing. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to keep that in my back pocket.
Good. You should. I think you should.
But it's like, at least he was kind of chill about it. Like, it's worse when it happens, like, if it's at a bar or something like that. And it's like, you're a comedian? Oh my God, tell me a joke. And you go, I'd rather kill myself. Actually, no. Now I don't want to hang out with you. It's a weird thing. And it sounds gross to be mad about it, but I am.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think it's fair. It's just such an awkward thing to like meet somebody and be like, oh,
Now
this
perform for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like when if you're like at Thanksgiving and your mom is like, Nathan has a song. He should sing that. Sing that song. You know that song. I'm like, I don't want to sing the song. We got pancakes coming or whatever. But then she wants you to like sing to them from Les Miserables. Yeah.
Do you have pancakes then?
I've had pancakes before. Yeah.
No.
What do you mean?
What you mean? Like you have people over? Is that like your go-to?
Oh, well, I was just grabbing for an example. Like if there's company at the house and your parents want you to perform because you're a little kid. Yeah, that's how I feel.
I just thought it was an interesting grab. Just had to.
It was just the first word that was there. They're not all gold. Sometimes.
But you're a comedian.
Yeah. A lot of times we sit in the dark and we write this stuff for a long time. And then we come out.
And then there's me who just took a couple shots of tequila and was like, let me just talk about.
But that is what I like about you, Rachel. Because like there's professionalism and then there's you.
Which is just the opposite.
You're just here. You're down for the party. You know what I mean?
I'm in front of my boss. I'm talking about.
You get your work done. You get your work.
do.
You get it
I
done.
do.
I'd say some would say you get it done well. And then
Thank
you're
you.
also there for the rage.
I am very involved in the process.
That's important. It's important to meet comics where they're at. And where they're at is getting messed up.
Well, and it's a very, obviously, being in this industry, it's not as tight. You know, not everybody. We're here to have fun. It is a fun job. It is something where we're gonna laugh. And if you work at this club and you don't like comedy, then why are you here?
I don't get that. Yeah, people are acting real serious. I'm like, hey man, it's not that serious.
It's never that serious.
It's never that serious.
And people get so mad sometimes at shows, and it's like, what do you
So
what do you
how
think
many
was
people
gonna
have
happen?
gotten booted?
Quite a few.
Right?
Quite a few.
I was surprised because it's Alpharetta, but it happens probably once every couple weeks at least.
I mean, at least every 3 shows or so. Like somebody is like heckling or they get offended by a joke, they gotta walk out. Like recently we had Godfrey come. A hilarious guy. And we had this group of ladies who he's a black comic and that is very much like a part of
Legendarily
his,
black, yeah.
yeah, like very black. And we had some white ladies come in and were upset that he was too black. And I'm like,
Were they what?
yeah, they were like, oh, we just felt really uncomfortable. We felt like we were singled out. And it's like, well, he didn't say anything about, nobody saw you. You're in the back of the
I'll let you
room.
in on a secret. You can barely see anybody up
Yeah,
there.
you can't see anything. The
Yeah.
light is right in your eyes.
Like in that main room right there, I can maybe see the first 3 rows.
But they were just like, I guess, uncomfortable. And then we had a black security guard walk them out, and they were like, see, this is what we're talking about. And it's like,
Why is this what you're talking about? That's
it's
so
like
wild.
you're in Atlanta and you went to see Godfrey.
Do a little bit of research. I mean,
What did you think? You bought the tickets.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't know what people expect because, like I said, this is the first time that Atlanta has had a club of this kind of like caliber.
Yeah,
That
no,
has
absolutely.
had like big time headliners every weekend. Because I think a lot of times if it's like a showcase club or something like that, the audience is used to having a level of power over because they know that like this is just a guy who works at the Rite Aid and I
Yeah.
can kind of shit on him and like take it down. They're not realizing like these are 30-year
These
comedians.
are falling off of me.
Godfrey's. Oh no! So they go right on your ears, and then they should. Yeah, there you go.
I have small ears.
Well, maybe you can adjust them, like the length part. Like Godfrey's been doing he's been doing it for almost 30 years, I think, and most of those
has.
years he was doing 6 shows a night because he's in New York.
Yeah.
So like, there's nothing more polished than what he's doing up there. And if that offends you, and if you think that's not good comedy, I think you got to look inward.
And I think that there is with this area a lot of people. This is new to them, so they just want to check it out and just look a little before you buy the ticket because I mean all the time we have people that are local to this area and they're like, oh, we just want to know what it's about, so they come see a show and they come to like the raunchiest show and they're like in their 60s and it's like, well,
there were a couple people on my my weekend with Montgomery that weren't ready to have a William Montgomery crowd.
And it's like, just you could have looked at any clip and seen exactly what the whole thing was going to be about.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, my act's pretty clean.
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part. Like, I mean, I yell, but I'm not dirty.
You do yell.
Yeah, I for sure yell.
Yeah, that's like part of your thing is like.
But nothing dirty, nothing really even political. We just gotta get in there. But people can get, I guess there's jarred. Is that the right word? I don't know. People who aren't really used to going to comedy clubs. So I think there's probably gonna be like a couple more months of people for them to really get the idea of what's happening here.
Well, and comedy is so subjective, and you can't just go to a show and unless you're somebody like us, where I think we can find humor in pretty much any headliner that's going to come up there.
Yeah.
But if you're not somebody like that, just do a shred of research. I think.
Well, just as a comic too, it's like I don't even really have to like your act to learn something from your act. That's why I'm here all the time because it's like comics that I wouldn't have gone to see by myself. I can usually kind of glean something from that. I can see how they're doing something with the crowd in a way that I haven't thought about it before, or the way that they kind of piece together their hour or their 20 minutes, like these chunks. I can pull from that. And if you get like really inside baseball, you're looking at like technique. I'm like comedy technique.
Right. And like a lot of people kind of have their way that they go about it and they kind of have like their niche. Like you do the yelling thing. I love.
That's my niche.
Thing. It's like you yell. Like, do you know what I mean? Like Marietta, who is one of my favorite people of all time. Her whole thing is like she's running out of breath the entire time that she's saying it. I find that hilarious.
I think she might have trouble breathing.
No, I think she said one time that she just pretends like she's 6 years old every time she goes out there and just like.
Oh, that's funny.
I think it's the funniest thing ever. And
that's so good. I was gonna get her an apnea mask. I didn't know.
No, that's like part of her bit.
Oh, that's beautiful. That makes it even better.
Yeah.
That's so funny. That's how she gets excited like a 6-year-old kid. That's so funny. I like Marietta a ton.
She's hilarious, and we have a lot of local comics that I'm like, okay, you guys are gonna go somewhere. There are some that you see that it's like, ooh, that's tough.
There's gonna be that in any scene. Like, there's a certain level. There's usually fortunately, Atlanta, there's nowhere near as many. So like when I was in LA, there was swaths of people where you're like, you should be institutionalized.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, you're not having a fun time. You're melting down.
No, everybody thinks that they're a comic out there, or they think that they have something.
Or they think that comedy is something that they can fall back on when acting doesn't work, which is wild.
Well, and what I'm noticing is a lot of these like TikTokers are like, I guess, afraid of, like Vine happening, or like, they said they were going to take TikTok away. So they're trying to like branch out and like have something else. So a lot of them are trying to fall back on comedy or music.
And the problem is, if you got enough followers, you can book a weekend or two.
And let me tell you, it's happening. And they're not good.
It's tough. Oh man, I don't remember who said it, but it was I think it might have been Seinfeld. He said, "Fame buys you 4 minutes."
Yeah.
And then after that, like that's the great equalizer about comedy. Is like after that, like they go, "All right, but now you got to do the thing." And he said, like I've seen tons of like, especially like at the Laugh Factory, other places, there would be these like TV actors or something, and they'd come on, and everyone would be really excited, and then they'd start talking. You go, that's why you don't do this. Okay, yeah, I got you. It's so hard for them to do something when there hasn't been like a team of Jews in the back room writing it and making it very, very
It's
funny.
like you were so funny when you were scripted.
Yeah, well, some people can do that, and that's a talent. Like that's a talent.
Yeah.
But they're like, those are comedic actors versus comedians.
Yeah.
But the problem is most comedians can act anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'd see you in something.
It's not hard. Like people, it's the hardest thing in the world. Like, okay, maybe. I think maybe being like doing something like The Pianist or something like that. Like if I had to be like a Holocaust something or like a hard role. But if it's just like, hey, be party guy number 4, I think we can all handle that.
Yeah.
It's not difficult.
And which is always so funny to see really funny people in serious roles.
Mm-hmm. Who's been doing that recently? I know Bill Burr's been doing some acting. He did that King of Staten Island and stuff like that. Robin Williams had some serious roles, right? Like, do you see Good Will Hunting?
Like, I don't watch movies.
Really?
I mean, I have, but I don't.
Good to know you're familiar with the concept at least.
I know about them.
Oh yeah, dude. So
But
it's
everybody's like, have you
moving
seen?
picture
No.
machine. No.
I haven't.
Nah.
Because I have such a short attention span, and so it's like if there's something long and drawn out, turning it off.
So what do you take in?
I don't.
Nothing.
No, I
You
watch.
just go home and look at a wall.
Yeah, pretty much. No, I go
Nice.
home and sleep. But that's what's great about comedy is nothing is, well, and it can get drawn out. There are definitely people who run that shit to the ground.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times I tell a joke and then I move on to the next one and then I move on to the next one. And then it's like, it's a routine and
Holds your attention.
yeah, it holds my attention. Whereas like, I don't know, it's just hard for me to watch something where I'm not like constantly being like, oh, I want to see what happens next.
Right.
So like when there's a whole like backstory about a character and it's not, I'm just turning that off.
I don't want to have to learn anything while I'm here.
Yeah.
I'd rather just sit here. I got it.
And I think that's just kind of my generation.
It's fair. How old are you?
22.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Because you grew up with the internet was already full blown.
Yeah, I was a baby on Vine, pretty much.
Whoa.
Well, not a baby.
I got to press the button.
Okay.
I think I nailed that, though. I think it's only like 2 or 3 seconds since it turned off.
No, it's been good. I don't know if anything that I'm saying is like actually worthy of making it in. Do you like cut stuff up?
I'll find like a clip or something that we can put on Instagram. But I mean, it all goes on.
I don't edit the full thing. I just put it on YouTube.
Oh, that's awful.
Why? I mean, I'll cut back and forth like between us, but yeah,
Oh, that's scary.
it's not long. We're 30 minutes in. We're already halfway done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't said anything substantial.
Oh, you haven't, but it's fine. It's a hang. This is some people throw it on in the background. They're at work. They're doing something like that. You don't feel like you need to perform, It's just chatting.
I'm a woman. I always need to perform.
Is that okay? Break that down for me. Why? Why do you feel like you need to do that? For other women?
For everyone, I feel like. I think that that's something that's just like instilled in us. It's like to always be perfect or funny or do something, like you can't have a bad moment. Can't have people seeing you being human.
No, I think you should fight that urge. I think being human's a good thing to be. Yeah, allow yourself to be human.
No, I mean, I'm human.
Good.
I am.
That's exciting.
In case anybody at home was wondering, I am human.
But you grew up with Vine. That's so wild to me.
So, like, I was, like, 11, 12 on Vine, like, making Vines and shit. And it's just, it's so funny because I've kind of always, like, just grown up with a platform.
Uh-huh.
like
Your parents didn't like make you do unboxing videos or anything, did they?
No, God, my parents are boomers. They had no idea, so I had complete unrestricted access to the internet, and that's kind of why I am the way I am.
That's wild.
So like I came up in that age where like nobody knew anything like bad about the internet yet. Like I got groomed on Kick. Like I was there.
What is that being groomed on Kick?
Oh.
Shut up, dude. Kick was no, don't give me a second.
Okay.
It was a messenger app. Mm-hmm. That's all I got.
Right. So YouTubers like Vine stars, I don't know if you ever were on YouNow. I was on YouNow a lot. That was like it was like live streaming before like live streaming was really big.
Okay. Not like chat roulette.
No, I mean I was there too. I was
Okay.
that also Omegle and everything. But you meet a stranger online and it's like, oh, what's your Kick? And then you start talking on Kick. Anyways, I was very young and a lot of old men were on Kick pretending to be like cool 15-year-old emo boys.
Oh, whoa. Wild.
You didn't know about that?
I know nothing about this. No. So like my internet experience was like AOL Instant Messenger,
Yeah.
like AIM.
Well, and
then,
that's ground zero. That is the
so
origin.
that was origin. That was I did that, and then I went from that to we had something called Zanga, and that was pre MySpace social media. We had Zanga, and then MySpace, and then Facebook, and then Instagram. I didn't have a lot of these tertiary apps. Like I didn't do anything. I had Snapchat for a little bit. That was it. Like I think that came out when I was like late high school, maybe early
It's, like,
college.
big in my generation.
Huge in y'all's generation.
Huge, massive. There's no way to not have a Snapchat.
So I had like I deleted it years ago, but I had a couple like group messages with like guys that I was in a wedding with or something like that. But like my internet usage is kind of like the main ones. I didn't do a lot of fringe stuff. Like I remember Vine, but I never had a Vine. I like that kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What?
Vine was huge. I can't.
I remember it was huge, but I mean like Periscope. I remember that. Never had one. I heard about Kick. Never had one. So I didn't know that it was a. I'm glad that I didn't have one now. It sounds like it was pretty sketchy.
The thought behind Kick is that it was safer than giving people your phone number.
Probably not, right?
Not much. No, because then you really had unrestricted access to anyone and anything, and there's nothing being moderated. It was just all free for all. So like, and I was an emo kid, so like,
Yeah.
I was talking to band members who I thought were cool, and I was being told, "You're the hottest 15-year-old I've ever." Like that's why so many of the bands that I love are no longer together, because all of the front.
Oh no, they all
All
were
of the frontmen were pedophile. Yeah. Like it's not like that's a very known thing.
That's the dark side of the skinny jean right there.
And let me tell you, I still listen to a couple of the people that groomed me because this is my.
Aw.
This is, no, it's like.
You said it like it was nostalgic.
No,
You're
like,
"Aw."
no, like other people are like, oh yeah, don't listen to them, and I'm like, well, this is my trauma, so actually, I will
Yeah.
do with it what I
This
please.
song's about
you
me.
You shouldn't listen to them.
Yeah.
You shouldn't support them, but
But the damage has already been done.
I'm trauma bonded, so it's okay if I do it.
That's funny. That's so. I mean, it's horrible, but it's
No,
funny.
I mean it's
Yeah.
awful, but it is hilarious.
It's crazy to grow up like because mine was like, I think we figured out porn. I was maybe 14, something like that, and then but it would be like,
Bless your heart.
yeah, dial up. It was dial up. So
I was in third grade looking up pictures of tits.
Yo. Wow.
Just because everything was so accessible.
I mean, we were trying to draw them.
Yeah.
That's some Pioneer Day stuff. Like I had a nice charcoal drawing of what I imagine boobs look like.
No, we'd be at recess on some kids' like iPad.
Just watching hardcore pornography.
I think the first time I saw an actual porn, I was in the 5th grade.
That's crazy.
Rest in peace, August Ames.
Oh, well, nice. Shout out August Ames.
Shout out August Ames.
Mine was more like my parents would be.
I took that death hard.
they'd be like, I'd be at the banisters, like, so like, how long exactly are y'all gonna go for a walk?
Yeah.
Like, why? I'm like, no reason.
No, like I was on the family computer Googling girls dancing
Okay, so
naked
you
on
at least
YouTube.
had a family computer still.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had the living room computer. I didn't have my own computer.
No, I didn't have my own computer.
Okay.
This was the family computer that I was Googling girls dancing naked.
When did you get a smartphone?
I was in middle school.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of a late bloomer there because I have boomer parents. Like everybody, I know so many kids that had like a phone in like the second grade, which is crazy. And this is like standard like first iPhone out. Like this is not it is not what it is today.
Yeah.
There wasn't as many functions.
I know.
But I know ancient ass. But yeah.
I got my first iPhone in college. Or no, I might have been a senior in high school. Yeah.
I was 12.
Getting groomed on Kick.
Getting groomed on Kick.
Nice.
Actually, what's hilarious is before I had a phone, I had an iPod, and I had like one of the like newer iPods. So that was how the grooming started. Was I didn't have a phone number. That's why I had Kick. There was no phone number. I was using an iPod.
You were just trying to talk to strangers.
Yeah, I was trying to talk.
Cool.
Hot emo boys online, band members, that are actually some 40-year-old Turkish dude.
That's crazy. Yeah, I never did it never occurred to me to reach out to famous people. Like it just like, cause I guess growing up without the internet right there, fame was never accessible. Like
Right.
I never saw fame as accessible until I was like out of college really.
Yeah.
Like because you'd meet, so like I ran into like a celebrity or some like NFL guys, and then we became friends on social media. I was like, oh, I can talk to them. It has never occurred to me to reach out to like a famous person through like a DM or anything like that.
Well, yeah. So like going back to You Now, so that was like a spinoff of YouTube where like people, it was basically YouTube but live.
You Now?
You Now.
I thought you were saying going back to me now. I'm sorry.
No, it was called You Now.
And what is You Now? Is it still around?
I honestly don't think so. I think it because there was a lot of pedophiles on You Now.
It feels like there were a lot of pedophiles on a lot of the stuff you were doing.
But yeah, it's similar to Omegle in a way where you could put in like your interest and like there was like categories. So like I was always in like emo. Like
Omegle is like chat roulette.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like is the screen you hit next.
Yeah, but except instead of it being like a two-way thing, you're actually going like the way that Twitch is or like Instagram Live is now. Like you were actually going to like see people, like specifically. But sometimes you would just click through like whoever was #1 trending in emo. Like you could look up by genre by trend.
Okay. All right.
But like at that time, like a lot of bands and stuff, they would have like an album release and they would live stream it and do like Q&A. Like Q&A was huge. Great.
What years was this? Was this like?
This is like 2014, 20 to 2016, 2017.
when I was graduating college.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Got it.
So at this point, I'm in middle school.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Just so everyone knows the age gap here. I'm 31. She's 22. There we go. Look at us bridging the gap between generations. So yeah. So you what?
You know.
You Now.
So like bands or stuff. Like I even saw. Do you know who Dobby Vanity is?
Mm-hmm.
Very famous pedophile in the industry.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't keep up with Pedophile Monthly. I don't.
Like even like there's cancel culture now, and we've come back and we've said like, oh, a lot of shit you guys were doing back then was not cool, but it's like even back then people were like, this guy is a freak. This guy
to beat the Me Too movement, like he was ahead of the curve.
He was way ahead of the curve.
Mm-hmm. Was he a lead singer?
Yeah, of a band called Blood on the Dance Floor.
Blood on the Dance Floor. Okay, cool. I do like those emo band names that like the end of the world will be televised on my pink shorts or something like the band name is this long. Sorry, I'm adjusting my hat and my headphones. So Blood on the Dance Floor.
And their music, very raunchy, very sexual. It adds up.
Okay.
It adds up,
to
what they were doing. But like even he was like grooming people on MySpace and like he is surely like
Piece of shit.
Like the point, yeah, he's the guy. Not in jail, by the way. This is a free man walking.
Really?
And he's been free, I think, the entire time. He's been like investigated by the FBI, but everything is like so old and like, there's not a lot that can.
Everything is so old.
At this,
People get arrested for being creeps a lot, right? Like,
right, but it was.
Why can't they get? What's making this guy the Teflon Don?
But it was a time of the internet where, people weren't screenshotting things. There weren't, to access a lot of that stuff, you'd have to go in like the Wayback Machine.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
No.
So so before there was like a cloud and everything on the internet just deleted after like a certain period of time,
Right.
So there's
that's when what did the internet look like in 1998 or something like that? And you go to the Wayback Machine.
Right. So if you look up specifically like a date and time and you look up like, through MySpace, AOL,
And
whatever.
you can go back to the internet on that day.
Right.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I might just make that my browser.
You find a lot, like, because at that time in the early 2000s, everything was like shock value. Like that was.
Oh, I just meant so it was easier for me to use.
Oh, it's not. No, it's probably too complicated for you because you have to actually like know, like you have to have the date and like the time, like everything has to line up.
I'm not an idiot. I can figure something out. Like I know dates and times, but if they're asking me to code, yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah. So it's like you would go on a website, you would look up like the date and time. So what it is to look up stuff like that now, like, do you know who Jeffree Star is?
No. Who?
That's okay. You don't have to. He is a makeup guru, very famous, but he was an emo singer.
Is he? Does he date NFL players?
He fucks them, yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen this person. I have been shown this by women who have been like,
Right.
we love him.
Right. Well, we don't. Well. Anyways, we used to love him, but the thing is
so
like,
is he also a pedo?
so he's not. He's not. I wouldn't say that, but he said a lot of really controversial things. Said like a lot of racist things.
That's not good.
What?
That's not good.
Yeah.
Did he say them as the man or as the woman?
For being the. What?
Did he say them as a man or as a woman?
He's been a man the entire time.
Oh.
He's never not been a man. He's just gay.
Oh, okay.
So that's a thing you can do. You can just be.
I'm aware of that.
Okay.
Yeah. I've learned the ins and outs. But doesn't he cross-dress? Isn't that the thing?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's not like a drag race star.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought maybe he was.
No.
I understand.
He's just a gay man.
All right. So what were we talking about?
Anyways, so he has like a very controversial past with MySpace because he's very popular on MySpace. Friends with Davi Vanity, ringing that in. Very popular like at Warped Tour and like big in the emo scene. And so like to go back and find the things he said on MySpace that were like controversial, you can't just find them by looking up MySpace or looking up.
You got to go to the Wayback Machine.
You have to go to the Wayback Machine. And so how you do that is there are people that have like said like, okay, so this is the date and this is the time. You go on MySpace on the Wayback Machine, you look this up, and that's how you'll find.
They're doing this mostly to cancel people.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fun because people aren't capable of change or ever changing their mind about anything. I mean, obviously, it makes sense if you're finding evidence for someone who's like a pedophile or someone who's doing that.
Yeah.
But if you're using it just to find like if you had a bad take on like the movie The Megalodon in 2008, that seems like a waste of someone's time.
Well, I don't think anybody's getting canceled for Megalodon.
Right, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it was like, so I did that too because this was when I was like a big fan of him and I was like, oh, well, I gotta go see what this is about, go see what he said. And yeah, it's
pretty bad stuff.
Pretty bad stuff because everything was for shock value.
Right.
And
well, that was like the MTV generation.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be, yeah.
The crazier things you said, the more attention you got. So
yeah, you're right. It's not like that anymore.
Well, it is like that, but now we have a.
There's kind of, but also like if you like on Instagram, if you're a big enough asshole, you can make money with that.
Oh,
like
yeah.
if enough people are looking at your page, you can do really whatever. Like there's a guy that I follow in South Carolina. All he does is yeet himself off of the top of his roof onto like microwaves and like he like ruins himself like into like glass and barbed wire, and he's making thousands and thousands of dollars a month to do that, which is insane.
Well, and there are still people that are doing this type of thing. Like there was one guy, I got internet rated. You know what that is? So basically, this guy is kind of like a big troll, and he does.
So when people swat your house, I know about swatting.
Not, I mean, it could get there, but it wasn't there.
Okay.
So this guy he's very early 2000s. Like, he does everything for shock value, makes really like jokes about sensitive topics, like says stuff just really off the walls. And so he like did I don't want to like give him away and give him any attention, but he did something about 9/11. I was like, this is tacky, this is gross.
Yeah.
And so what he did is he like took like my Instagram handle, took a picture of like my Instagram, and like posted it to his thousands of followers and said, go attack this girl. And so I was getting like rape threats. People were sending me like gore videos of like people like killing themselves and stuff, like just threatening like all kinds of shit, just because I said, this is tacky, this is gross.
Really? And,
Yeah.
And he just sicked his followers on you, and then the thousands of people just flooded your feed with that.
Yeah.
How old were you?
This was not too long ago. I was like 18, 19.
That's crazy though.
Yeah.
And I've never had any experience with any of that. I think that is the nice part of being an elder, is that I detach.
Yeah.
I'm capable of it.
No, and I think that my generation, it's like, that was such a thing. Like, I can remember going to school and like, it's like sophomore year of high school, and somebody like just showing me a video of like a guy like shooting himself in the head. Like, that was just like a thing. This is just like a thing people do. Like, or they would, all the time there would be like on Instagram or whatever, like videos that would start off and it'd be like a cute dog, and then it would like pan, like just cut off, and then like be like a Taliban video of like them like shooting people.
Well, I mean, we'd see some Taliban stuff, and like with the Ukraine war, like that whole thing's on the internet. So like sometimes it was like, well, what's going on over there? And you'll watch some cam footage or whatever. But no.
No, the point of this is to get people to see it unconsensually.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
That's messed up. That's the dark side of the internet that I've never been a part of.
You ever been on Reddit?
Yeah.
Be careful.
Mostly I just use it to cheat in video games that I have.
Yeah.
I think that's
fair.
When I don't know how to beat something, I'll like Reddit is it. I'll Google something and then the answer is on Reddit, but I don't have the app on my phone and I'm not spending time in Reddit.
No, that's healthy. That's probably for the better. But like, so do you know what 4chan is?
That is like pre-Reddit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of almost like iFunny. Do you know iFunny?
Yeah, it is nothing like iFunny.
Okay.
It is actually nothing like iFunny. So 4chan is kind of like, I would say like the grandfather of Reddit.
Okay.
Basically just unfiltered, unchecked. You can put anything on there. So there's like all kinds of like deep web shit, like people like just posting the most unhinged shit they could. Like I remember some guy like doing on 4chan, like he like tied like a rubber band around his finger and like updated every day like with the necrosis like of his finger fall. Like you could just put anything on there and it would gain traction.
Was this like Pain Olympics? Are you familiar with Pain Olympics?
I'm not.
All right, I knew something you didn't know about the internet. I'm very excited right now.
All right, go ahead. Enlighten.
Well, Pain Olympics is just like I never saw any of it. I just heard about it. But like people would send in videos of them like cutting off their dick or something like that.
Oh yeah, so that's like very 4chan, and
you're like, oh yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
very much so.
It's nice to know that I have no shock value for you. Like
Yeah.
you've just seen it all. Like you, but growing up, like from
and
what
that's
I'm,
why my generation is so ruined. We're so fucked.
Yeah. It's like y'all grew up in a war zone, but everything was, but the sun was shining outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So y'all have like the amount of trauma of someone from like 1963 Bangladesh.
Well, and it's like the thing with our parents is because they didn't know the internet, they didn't know that stuff was happening. Nobody knew that was like that people were going to do that. Nobody.
Yeah. And you're a kid, so you're not going to tell your parents that you just saw that.
No, of course not.
Crazy. Okay. If I ever have kids, which is unlikely, I'm there. Nah, it's not happening.
Oh, and I'm so like, and as a child, I was like, oh, yeah, I don't want my parents to see this. But now I'm like, as an adult, I'm like, oh my God, I wish that my parents would have like paid a little
taken
bit of
it.
attention
Right.
to what the fuck was going on, because that could have saved me a lot.
Well, this is you don't realize how crazy technology is now. I remember like my dad saw me playing a video game like maybe a couple weeks ago, and he's like, "That looks incredible." I'm like, "It's been like this for a couple years now."
Yeah.
But like, I don't think, especially our parents' generation, like my parents' generation. You said your parents are boomers. Mm-hmm. How old?
So like my dad's in his 60s, my mom's in her 50s.
Yeah. All right, so that's about the same as mine. But like their generation, they have even less of a concept about it than I do. Like I knew there was some dark stuff there, but I thought you had to kind of go to the dark web to find it.
No.
Okay.
And you don't. And so 4chan, like there's child pornography, there's like bestiality, just like
I think I'm good.
wide open, just wide open. And so Reddit.
Doesn't it check? Doesn't it your computer, if you even look at that on your phone, don't you go onto a list somewhere or something?
I mean, in theory, you'd think, but there's so many, VPNs, there's ways to not get tracked, and there's so much of it that they could not possibly filter it all.
God, I'm so glad I'm a caveman.
So that's why, 4chan, I think, is pretty much dust now. I mean,
It's gone.
I don't think it's gone, but it's not the way it used to be. So a lot of people moved to Reddit, and 4chan, it was like you didn't have to look for that stuff. It was just right there in the open. Reddit, you do kind of look that up.
Right.
But
okay.
it's all there. It's still there.
Yeah.
And they say that they have like guidelines, and it's like, oh no, children know that. But that shit's still getting posted, and it's at a rate where they can't possibly stop
called
it.
threads, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of we're getting real deep here. We're getting into some
I'm learning.
nasty
I'm
shit.
learning.
We're getting into some nasty shit. Yeah, there are so many
I gotta press the button.
Okay.
Last one. This is interesting though. I'm learning a bunch.
Yeah, I didn't know that this is the way we were gonna go.
That's the best part about this. You never know. Oh.
So if you're one of those freak ass people that gets off to gore and stuff, there are a million gore subreddits. Anything you're into, any sick twisted fantasy you have is a subreddit.
But it also does good stuff, right? Like it has useful information about things.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
because it is just a platform where you can share anything.
It's just so big.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's just so big, and you gotta be just careful with that shit, because it's you'll be looking at something innocently, and then you'll see I don't know, just a word or something.
Yeah.
And you'll go down a rabbit hole, and you'll find shit you wish you never saw.
Listen, it's just a
Never get out of
connection to
your mind.
technology I don't think I'm ever going to be able to understand
And
fully.
honestly,
And I think it's for the
better that
better.
way.
I think it is
Yeah.
for the better.
there's so much shit that I wish I could unsee, and it's not the way that my generation is coming up about it now. Is it's so normalized that this is a generation of serial killers. And,
Well, but also
scary-ass
you're
people.
seeing a new wave of your generation, a lot of conservative stuff coming up. A lot of people are going back the other way, and they're like,
Oh,
this
big
is...
time.
Yeah.
Big time. And that's because of podcasts.
Hey, podcast Pat.
Definitely every man thinks that he should have a podcast.
Yeah.
I don't
Coming as a man with one, yeah,
coming
I
as a
get
man
that.
with a, they're I say stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody would want to hear this.
This is actually very interesting. So,
No,
the
this
people
is
that-
very interesting. No,
Yeah.
this is different. This is different. You're actually not a piece of shit.
Oh, thank you. I really
Well, it's
appreciate that.
I don't want to get your head too big. Because
Don't
you have
worry,
your
it's
moments.
pretty small now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
But yeah, most guys do.
Yeah.
I get a lot of guys. They go, when they find out that I do have one or whatever, they'd be like, "You should have me on." I'm like, "I'm okay."
It's what are you bringing to the table? What
Exactly.
Are you gonna talk about?
We're friends.
Yeah.
And that is another thing. A lot of people go "Why haven't you asked me on your podcast?" I'm like, "You've never talked to me."
Yeah. It's what would we talk about?
Well, exactly. Yeah. Or it's they think it's somehow going to help them get stage time or something like that. And I'm like, dude, I bring my friends on here and I bring comics on here. That's the only criteria. There's no hoop you aren't jumping through other than just being a human being.
Just shooting the shit.
Yeah. Just be a human. And you are very human. Even though you grew up with the Taliban.
And so like that's the thing, and like so many people will be like, oh, she's so like, I don't know.
Well,
I'm too soft for most people. And I'm like, because
You've seen things.
yeah, but like everybody's like, oh, that's normal, and it's not normal. We need to.
That is pretty weird.
Out.
Yeah, it definitely. I could never. I'm glad we had this conversation because I'm gonna probably treat people of your generation with a little bit more grace.
Yeah.
Because like I got to be a kid.
Yeah. No, I didn't. That shit was like ruined for me.
Yeah, that's crazy. Huh.
Like I was like 11 years old, like seeing like scary shit.
That's crazy.
Like I won't, you know.
Well, we'll wait till.
I'll tell you about it later. I'll tell you about it later. And it's just gonna blow your mind. You're gonna be
too much for the conversation that we're even having on
no,
here.
yeah.
All right, well then maybe keep it to yourself. Maybe I want.
Yeah, maybe it's better off this way.
Maybe I like having a little bit of this. So it's nice. I always thought
Like
that I was
people will
edgy.
tell me that I'm soft, and I'm like, I'm not soft. I just have like a shred of humanity left, and like.
That's nice. That's an admirable thing. You're supposed to try to hold on to as much of that as you can.
And people are like, oh, the video games are ruining children, and I think
It's probably the groomers.
Yeah, it's probably the
probably the
groomers.
pedophiles
It's
ruining
probably the gore that is just like pushed down our face, like shoved down our throats. But I do think video games attributes to that too, because we're like so used to like just killing people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but at least like when I grew up killing people, it was pixelated.
Yeah, now it's very real.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it was like a I was talking about it with like one of my friends the other day. It was a World War II game. It was called Medal of Honor Rising Sun. And it's the only video game where like Americans killed Japanese people. But because the quality was so bad, they had to like give them all rice patty hats so you could know that they were Japanese. It's just insane. But like that, I mean, yeah, the worry that our parents' generation had about video games probably applies less to video games than it does about just this, like just having a phone.
Which, and I will say, as somebody that like plays a lot of video games, like I used to be like, oh no, it affects nothing. But I will tell you, I know the nephew of Call of Duty. So the people who created Call of Duty, it's two brothers, and so their nephew was a childhood friend of mine, and so he was playing like the first version of that, like very like before they had like, and you know, very raw stuff from a very young age, like 6 years old, and that kid is fucked.
I bet.
That kid is
well, I mean, I bet the government's gonna find him and make him pilot the first robot soldiers.
Oh, I'm
like
sure.
that's probably what that is. I think that is the grooming of video games. Is they're training drone pilots and they're training like the next generation of cyber warriors.
Oh, I agree completely. And you know, if we were in war, I would want that kid on the front lines for sure.
Or in a bunker in New Mexico while a robot is on the front lines. Yeah. But it's just that detached nature, because you'll see videos of like drone strikes and the guy just like clear, or just like very, very like dead to the world about it. Yeah.
Well, and it's like, and I have to think about like him playing those games like that. You know, now all that shit has to go through like a team, and like some things are deemed like too much, too inappropriate. Like he was in like the trial of that. So it's like completely unfiltered, and like all of their like settings in Call of Duty are real places that they went to. Like they all the graphics and stuff.
Oh, they mapped out like real. Oh, that's cool.
Like this is all real places, real stuff, real places that they went and to put into the game. So everything is very, very realistic. And I think that that's just where we are now.
I don't know. The video games I play are all like fantasy games. Like I like Oblivion, Skyrim. Like I'm playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 right now. I'm having a lot of fun with that. That one's more realistic.
I play a lot of Stardew Valley and Minecraft, but I do play like Call of Duty and stuff like that. And it's just, you know.
I never do like the person versus person games. I wanted to be by myself. Because I grew up doing sports.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to compete more when I got home. Like, because it was just like all the kids I knew that didn't really play sports, they got really good at sports games and that kind of thing. I want to learn how to fight this dragon. Like, I want to learn alchemy or something.
Yeah.
So I would just tune out and I'd get a single player game and I'd just be crafting horseshoes for like 2 hours.
Yeah. I would say like first person shooter games are probably the most popular thing right now.
Yeah, I don't play them. I mean, I played Gears of War. I liked that. when that first came out, as like kids, we were like, this is insane. I can cut an alien in half with a chainsaw and my gun. That's cool.
Well, and like my boyfriend plays CS:GO, like that's his big thing.
What is CS? Counter-Strike?
Yeah.
Okay, I know Counter-Strike.
So he's shooting people, and he's got like 1,000 guns, and he makes real money off of this game by opening like these boxes that have like guns and knives and stuff in them, and then he sells them on the internet.
He sells digital guns?
Yeah.
He's a digital arms dealer?
Yeah.
That's kind of dope, though.
I mean, he literally, like, we needed the groceries the other day, and he was like, I'll sell a couple things, make $200.
Whoa.
He did. He sold
okay.
he sold like a knife and a gun and made $200, and was like, cool, now we can get groceries.
That's what irritates me about this. Like the internet stuff we're talking about. Like, I am a caveman, so yes, my soul is more pure than y'all's, but I also don't have access to this unlimited internet money that y'all know how to get.
Yeah.
Like, you see someone's like, oh, I'm just like drop shipping data points or something like that, and I'm making like $3,000 a month, and there's no way I will ever be able to get there.
And I'm not one of those people either. And I'm like, this is so stupid, because he's gambling. I mean, it's gambling, opening these cases. That's what they're called. They're called cases. And so you spend real money on them, and then you just hope that you get something in higher value. And then there are real people that are buying them, that are spending $900 to get this super rare gun in this game.
Because they can, and you make money by performing well in the game. So like, is it a ranking system?
There are people, but he's not one of those people. I mean, you have to be like sponsored and shit. You have to actually be like going to like competitions and things like that.
Have you seen any of the videos of like South Korea, like the video game tournaments that are in like arenas?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's
And
like,
I
it's
have
like
a friend who does that.
Really?
I have a friend who makes money off of that.
Is it like League of Legends or something like that? Like top lane, bottom lane? Hell yeah.
How do you know that? That's
I'm not a total loser. I know some things.
One of my very best friends plays League of Legends professionally, and he will like go to Chicago.
League makes bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that kid is rich.
Oh, dude, not off of video. I mean, they're saying they want to make it a college sport. They want to make it something you can get like scholarships
There's like esport teams now.
Oh, that's so cool. It's cool. It's pretty cool. I'd want to be like, if I could go to like college on a Mortal Kombat scholarship, that'd be insane.
Dude, and I wish I had the capacity for that, because my friend who does this, because he also knows coding and stuff because he's been on the internet for so long, he now is at a point where he makes money teaching other people how to play video games.
Whoa.
People will pay him $200 an hour to teach them how to play League of Legends.
I don't know why it turned off again. Hold on.
And work and stuff, and he just made...
So he teaches people how to play like League.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He's like, his whole thing is just online teaching people how to play games, doing coding work. Like and now he's doing it for like businesses. Like he's like doing coding and like stuff.
That's cool. Like,
I could never make that work for me.
Like cybersecurity.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Okay. There's just people that have that connection to it. It's just a world that I'm never going to get.
I'm never going to get there. And me, like being in this generation and being so involved, I will never get to where he is.
Yeah. Oh, no. I mean, I've resigned myself to know that it's like, all right, at best, if I get good enough at that out there, I can pay somebody to do that. And that's what I'm really hoping for. That is my metric for success.
Well, and he's that guy. And like, he just had like a project that he did for some company. And he made $300K. And he was like, yeah, it took me 2 days. And I was like, That's
pretty dope.
I will never get to that.
That's pretty
I will
dope.
never get.
I don't think I'll ever get. I could get as good at this as I could possibly be. There's not going to be a 300K day for me, probably.
Never.
Okay. Till I start selling feet pics.
And let me tell you, I've sold feet pics. You're not making that much.
Dang, man, I was really banking on that.
And I have cute little girl feet, and I have a little foot tattoo. Like I've got cute feet, and
There's a girl I knew in LA, and she was like, come out with me for a day and just let me just step in some mud, do something. I'm going to take like 400 photos. I'll run the page for you. I chickened out.
Why?
I don't know. It just felt weird to me. I didn't grow up there. I didn't grow up with it. So I just like, the barrier to entry for me was too high.
So the thing is you can make money doing shit like that, like doing like weird shit, because people have very specific like kinks where they will pay because they know they're not going to be able to find it organically.
Right. Until you go to 4chan.
Until you go to 4chan or Reddit. And it's like, even then they run out. They've seen the same thing sometimes. They run out of like content. So that's why like I have one of my dearest and nearest friends sells like pictures and videos on Reddit, and she takes like requests of like kinks of like guys like wanting her to like sit on a cake, like there's all these different like specific things, and it's like they can only access so much of that, and like that is the thing that gets them. So
you're making someone do it.
Yeah, and well,
Is it like a power thing? It's like I'm making like because I put that out there, she's now sitting on a cake.
maybe for some people, but for a lot of them, it's just like they want something new to jerk off to, and that's the only thing that really like gets them going. And so they're willing to pay.
What a Black Mirror episode that would be. It's just like I can't come unless there's cake involved. It's crazy.
And that's such a real thing. And it's like, you know, like stepping in mud, like all kinds of weird shit. That if that's part of your brain and that's where you are, like you're only going to find that by paying somebody $40 to step in mud. You know?
Yeah, I guess. Well, you've given me a lot to think about.
Yeah.
You're
welcome. I'm glad that this turned into just an episode about the internet.
It was educational. Dude, trust me, I knew almost none of this. So this is cool. I'm going to go home and I don't think I'm ever getting on the internet again. I'm never getting on the internet again. You'll see me next week with a flip phone and I'll be churning butter on my front porch.
And the longer I'm on the internet, the more I lean towards that. And I can't wait to be in the woods off the grid.
I'm just going to get really good at League of Legends. I think it's too late for me.
Yeah, I think you've missed your peak. But I mean, there are like old dudes doing it, so like you can do it.
It's fair. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that, by the way. Old dudes, I like that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can find Rachel here at Helium every single weekend if you'd like to come and give her a big old tip because she deserves it. And I'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.
That's the truth.